So the next topic is the Proxy War. Pretty much the idea of the Proxy War is to expand onto the whole entire Gradivis Dilemma system.
Is
the whole entire
there?
war system between the Corpus and the Grineer, and players can pick sides. And it will start tracking players' choices, XP earned on behalf of those factions, and accumulated mastery rank and progression for each group. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this will improve the war flow and the momentum for certain factions? Will this help the Corpus push back out, or once they've actually gone through Project Tethra, keep their dominance?
It's the Grineer, eh? So, Proxy War is a very interesting idea because as much as when you look at it, as Focus is player-oriented, this is player-oriented, so...
This is more world lore-orientated with some player benefits.
Yes, exactly, but the thing is, do you really want to, dig yourself into one faction? Do you maybe want to switch later? That's the best question here. How are the influences gonna go if you play for one faction, then switch for the other,
There's gonna be a lot of whining on the forums. My faction's too weak.
I think that's the forums every day. So, but yeah, do you think this, like I said, do you think this will improve the flow and the momentum, or will this actually hurt it?
It won't hurt anything. It won't even improve it. It'll just be fluff. I don't like fluff. Everyone likes fluff.
Especially in your pillows?
This is what this game needs.
Do you think this might be another Zanuka incident, where everyone wants that one exclusive item and then it just becomes one-sided again?
What,
yep,
the
that
Brack?
might be it, actually.
Not necessarily the Brack, it can be any other new exclusive item, but do you think it's going to be another Zanuka incident, where everyone's going to go one-sided for that one gear?
Yep, unless they do something good and balance it, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to really take into account what are they going to do with it. For example, if one side's going to be getting, as they said, grenade designs, other side's going to be getting mods, we all know that mods go much better than the weapons do, so I'm having a feeling that everybody will go for mod side. That's pretty much what I'm scared about, yeah. Everybody's going to go one-sided, and other factions just going to get trampled and forgotten about. And where are they in the game, like the current Corpus are. Yes, I love the Grineer, but I do like the Corpus as well. How can I say it? I like playing for Grineer missions because... How can I say? People say that... God damn it, I got stuck. Anyway, people say that Corpus are easier to kill. Yes, that is that. But the thing is, I'm not playing for Grineer because I like playing for them, or Corpus are easier to kill. It's just, I can, how can I say, sympathize more with Grineer than with Corpus. So they have that human part bots when you look at it in that way. So it can go on either personal choice, personal opinion. It can either go on, loot. But I know, I kind of like Grineer weapons and Grineer designs more than Corpus. So, yes, I'm always pro bullets. So now you know what's going to come down to. It's going to come down to choosing between do like this or that. But there's always general opinion. More people like something than the other people, and it leans towards one thing. One thing I noticed in Design Console is if you give people multiple choices, and you give them, two choices that are really close, like the current Corpus voice thread, it can be a bit ugly. If they hit that, sweet spot with Proxy War, then yes, it's definitely going to come into play. It's definitely going to balance it out. It's definitely going to add more value to the game. And I really hope they get the sweet spot, because after all, we all want to play more of this game.
What do you think, Dudley? There's a Zanuka incident with our one-sidedness?
It depends on what they put as rewards, honestly. We can only speculate what they put as rewards. So...
Currently, the reward system is mild RNG. So it's just randomly generated. Yeah. So it's randomly generated. It's not actually predetermined or preset. So we've had situations where it's been a catalyst reactor, like an Orkin reactor versus an Orkin catalyst. versus two Formas, or a Felderon versus a Mutagen Mass. And those seem very nice, and that's when you actually see a real fight start. But then there's other times where you see a reactor versus credits, and it's like, obviously, we're going to go for the better object. So,
I don't have actually problem with that happening a few times, but only when it matters, For example, somebody put a nice constructive point somewhere. Let's say like this: Venus is a Corpus planet, right? Corpus system. Even if the rewards are same, for example, credits versus credits, why not put the side that actually needs to be there a bonus? Like, Corpus are now worth 65k and Grenier are worth 35k. 15k less, 15k more. So if you really do want to go for Grenier on Venus, you're right.
But there's an issue with that idea. Like, that is implying there's faction loyalty. And when you come down to it, a lot of the player base are mercenaries. We prefer the better payout.
Exactly.
We saw that originally with the Gradivis dilemma. Like, when the Gradivis dilemma first came out, we saw that a lot of people were going pro Grenier, pro Corpus, and there was a joke about the Tenno mercenaries basically being a general consensus or a general idea for players wanting profit and better payouts rather than loyalty. So it comes down to that.
Well, yeah, basically that's gonna prevent the current situation where Grenier hold 99% of the solar system.
Well, after all, they did say they're coming out in numbers and their cloning facilities are working overtime on Earth.
I don't think it's working that well overtime, considering we keep ruining their plans on Earth. Remember Cicero? Yeah, we keep distilling their poison. But aside from the issue of balance being one-sided and all that, what do you think about the Red Veil Assassins and the Oracles of Saturn? Do you think those are third-party outfits, groups, or do you think they're sub-factions of the Corpus and Grenier?
I would rather have them be sub-factions, to be honest. Like the current, problem with Fraudback and LV, one hating each other inside the same faction. I think that's a better approach than having them be complete faction already, because there's pretty much nothing left in the solar system. Yes, there might be, few secret organizations that have survived throughout the millennia, but looking at it in general picture, I think it goes more with the lore to have a few of those secret organizations and more of those sub-factions inside the same one, because, the politics, we don't all have the same opinion, even though we are all from the same country. There are different parties included, so why not inside the same faction as well?
What do you think, Dudley?
Well, I'd like them to be third party, but then again, I'd like them to be very, very, weakly coupled with the current fractions, so that they're enjoying some, what do you call it? Some benefit from those factions, based mainly upon their beneficial needs. But then again, they're following their own goals, and their own goals are chaotic, or what do you call what's opposite to chaotic?
Lawful.
Yeah, lawful. So basically, you get the basic RPG system of creating a character, and that wouldn't be that bad here, because as I said, Tennos are mercenaries. And they can be loyal. Although Corpus are calling them betrayers, but that's another thing.
Personally, I think the Red Veils seem to be an internal group. To me, it sounds like the Red Veils may be an organization within the Grenier, because the Greniers seem to have that built around them. Like the Scorpions, the Red Veil can be a group of female Greniers just specialized for assassination, or maybe it can be the teased female Corpus that the dev team gave a couple live streams ago. So it can be either way. And the Oracles of Saturn sound to me like a group of Orokin, or Orkin, pronunciation varies, Orokin worshippers, praisers, followers, Durf even.
I'm looking at it like this. Corpus are more trying to get, to the Orokin tech. They're really trying. So looking at it, Oracles of Saturn might more go Corpus. Red Veil Assassins, yes.
Those seem to be heavily Grenier.
Yeah. Oh, especially when you look at it like this. Keela, the boss, is pretty much the only female boss from Grenier's side. And you cannot really put her anywhere related to Grenier. Everyone other is some high member of this and high member of that. She uses a sniper rifle. She could be a perfect example for the Red Veil Assassins.
Doesn't she use a rocket launcher?
Was this... I'm talking about the concept art.
Hmm.
And the ballistas, for example, they should all be female cyborgs.
Well, if you look at the heavy Grenier, they're females.
Yes. All the cyborgs are female.
Yeah.
So yeah, Red Veil Assassins could be something like...
a Grenier female squadron.
Yeah, Grenier female squadron made of cyborgs.
In the end, they could also be the new faction that they spoke about. So there's a lot of possibilities, but I think them being subgroups would be a better idea.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this. There should be 2 subgroups inside each organization, so you can either choose, Pathway A or Pathway B, but again, it has to be balanced. And then you have one standalone faction and the other standalone faction. So you have a choice to go inside each of the factions, plus you have the option outside of the organization itself.
The possibilities are plentiful.
And,
we can keep
yes.
speculating all day with them. But let's get to the last topic, which seems to be a very big topic for discussion in the forums. And it seems to be very split between yes and no. And it's the Badlands. This is very clan-orientated. This is independent from the Proxy Wars. It will benefit from it, but it's very independent as it's very clan and alliance owned and controlled, compared to the Proxy War, which is faction controlled and players just have minute influence in the tides of war, or a major influence in tides of war. So, the Badlands. Do you think this will work with the current clan situation? And that does it for the second part in this 3-part discussion. It will be 3 parts, even though this was a short 10-minute or so part. 12 minutes estimate part. Due to the fact that the third part is another 20 minutes of thoughtful and pretty much over the top, or not really over the top, but all over the ground discussion. So, thanks for sticking with us this far, and hopefully you enjoyed our little ramblings and the discussions, and you stick around for the third part. So, like always, see you guys in game, and have fun.